Hey guys, this is part 2 of our story. Please like, share, subscribe. Please don't forget to like and share. And please don't forget to press the red button. Okay, here we go. So where we left off was when Chase, who's the investigator, got called in by a police officer, a special sergeant, into a hospital. And when he walked past, he saw a woman in intensive care with all this gear on her face, heart monitors on, tubes and everything. And what we learned, that she was a foster parent. The other foster parent had been shot to death, the foster father. And there was 4 children gone missing. However, the police and everything have been looking for weeks and they have left no trace. There's no DNA, nothing. So Chase sits down in his house and looks back. Starts to read back. So he looks at his notes and he thinks to himself, why would anyone hurt an urban family, a foster family, with 4 kids? It doesn't make sense. So Chase turns around and looks again and goes, the police can't do nothing. There's only one place to look. So Chase gets onto YouTube. He has his own channel called Chase the Ace. And he goes live and asks people, I've got a case. It's a very difficult case. The police have closed it down. There's nothing they can do. It's up to us. Would you like to help? And everyone was dead excited and said yes, because they were all like sleuths. But some people kept saying to Chase, yeah, you're just going to stop the police finding them, blah, blah. And he was like, no. The police have given up, but they just don't want to say they've given up, because if they do that, then the public will go crazy. So we ask his subscribers, here's what happened. So he takes his subscribers back in time. There's 4 children that were just fostered out to this man and woman couple in an urban house. White picket fence, beautiful bedroom, property, owned, no debts. Foster father works in a business, his own business. And you may ask what business it is. It's simple business, buying and selling cars. The foster mother was a homemaker. She stayed at home, cooked, cleaned, looked after the children. But see, because of the children's situation, and the fact is they didn't know if they were permanently staying there, they homeschooled the children, because starting them in a new school and moving them would be more catastrophic for their mind. So again, they turn around. When I got called, he says to his subscribers, the only thing I saw was a lady lying there with tubes all over her in intensive care. The foster father was shot once through the front lobe, died instantly. The children are missing. However, nothing's been touched in the house. So the police said it couldn't have been a robbery. There was no blood spatter anywhere. They haven't yet found out why they found the foster mother in this state. She had no visible signs of attack, no gunshot wounds, no nothing. But she was very unconscious for a couple of days. So they didn't know where to look. There's no evidence. They've been up in the rooms, took photographs, and all the children's beds were made perfectly. The toys were put away perfectly. In fact, it was very clean and very tidy for a house with children. There was nothing downstairs out the ordinary. No toys, no bits and pieces on the floor. There was not even cups or saucers for children. A sippy cup for the 5-year-old, nothing. There was just 5 glasses, 5 plates, 5 knives, forks and spoons, 1 teaspoon, 4 cups. Which Chase found odd, but the police didn't, and said, well, they're only a foster family, they could be there for a couple of days or years. But you expect the kids to have some kind of toys downstairs, maybe a teddy bear and a blanket over the back of the settee or chair, or even some DVDs or Blu-rays with children's stuff on it for 5-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, right? Game systems, maybe a handheld game. But there was nothing. In the room there was some toys, but nothing major, nothing expensive. In the little girl's room there was a couple of toys, a pink bed, a rocking horse, nothing at all major. In the boys' room there was just some bricks, the builder bricks, some cars, pretty much basic. But the oldest boy's room, the 13-year-old, he had painted one of the walls pure black and the other walls a very dark blue. He'd also done his own spray painting, like graffiti type, which is very unusual considering the house was in perfect, immaculate order. But yet, the oldest boy's room, the 13-year-old, was in such a disarray. Maybe they just thought to leave him like that because maybe being 13, he's going through teenagers and stuff. That's what Chase thought. But a lot of the other subscribers were saying, yeah, but isn't that a bit weird considering all the toys are put away and everything, and he hasn't got toys, but he has loads of pens and drawings, and he does things on the wall and sprays on the wall. Why would the parents allow them to do that? But yet the house is immaculate. So Chase says, well, maybe it's just one of his rooms. Maybe they say maybe he has a mental disorder or something. They say just let him express himself. Whatever damage he does, we'll pay for or something. So they said, when was the last time the children were seen? And he goes, that's the thing. The last time they were seen was by the social worker that dropped them off the week before. No neighbours had seen them playing out in the yard, ever. In fact, the neighbours said that they never see any of the foster children they foster out. They see them going in, but not coming out, which was kind of odd. So obviously a lot of people, including Chase, thought, obviously you go out to work or something like that and they take them out in the day when you're not looking. But it is a very close community. Back-to-back fencing. You open the window on one, you can see through another type cul-de-sac area. Posh as anything. Beautiful cars, beautiful cut lawn, but everyone's lawn was identical. There was one tree in each lawn. The lawn was cut exactly the same length, height, width. Every garage was painted the same and looked the same. Pretty much walking down there, if it didn't have numbers on, you couldn't tell one house from another type. Very quiet area. You stood in the middle and you felt like there was no one around, like a ghost town. So someone said to Chase, why don't you go in and do a live footage of the house so we can see where everything is? So he says, no problem. We'll get and do that tomorrow. So Chase goes home, gets all his gear ready, gets his camera fully charged, gets another battery fully charged, and sits there. And then, as he's about to leave the door the next morning to go out, to get ready to go to the house, one of his subscribers emails him, "Did you say the foster father died there?" So Chase said, "Yes, why?" "Well, why don't we ask the father?" So Chase gave a look. "Are you talking ghosts?" "Well, not ghost spirits." "And how are we supposed to do that?" says Chase. So the subscriber says, "I've got equipment. I don't live too far from you. Can I meet you at the house? Give me the address and meet you at the house. I have a gift, but I also have special equipment." "What, are you saying you want to work this case?" So she says, "I wouldn't mind helping." He says, "Well, I tell you what, if you come down, you teach me how to use your gear. And then when you can't do it, you leave that to me." She was like, "No problem, I'll meet you there." So Chase drives down there. She was 25 minutes away. Chase was 35 minutes away, not too far at all. Thought, great, now I've got someone else. It's good. So when she turns up, he turns around and looks at her and goes, "You look familiar. Do I know you?" She says, "Maybe you do, maybe you don't." "Do you have your own channel?" "I do." "Well, you can't put this on your channel." "Well, if I can't put it on my channel, you can't use my gear and I'll just leave." "But wait, I thought you were trying to help me look for the kids." "Yeah, but I still got to make my money. This equipment costs money. Everything costs money." "Okay. Here's the deal. We do this case together, but you don't release anything until we release it together. We'll release half on my channel, half on yours." So she looks and goes, "All right, deal." So Chase is a bit worried, concerned. Being a police officer, he gets that tingle when, and that the hairs pull up on his, when people aren't being honest, all right. When he knows something's a bit dodgy. But he's got no choice. He has to find these children. Because each day goes past, each night goes past, it gets longer and longer. The children will suffer more. And could end up not walking back when he finds them. So Chase gives in and says, "Okay, let's go." So they look down. She goes, "So is this where the father died?" He went, "Yeah, but he wasn't shot here." He goes, "Follow the blood up." So she goes and follows the blood up, and they're walking up the stairs, and she goes, "This is a bit odd." So Chase says, "How so?" She goes, "Because the blood runs up the stairs, not down the stairs." So he looks like that and he goes, "Yeah, that's true." She goes, "How can blood run up?" So, and I suppose like when you fall up the stairs, when you're going upstairs, you fall. Yeah, but the blood's running up, not dripping down. It's dripping up the stairs. Chase said, "I've never seen that before." So she takes photographs of it, and Chase takes photographs, and he's like looking at this woman and thinking, "I've been here twice and I never saw that blood. I always saw that blood dripping downwards. I've never ever seen it drip up. That's odd." So he ignores it and walks up the stairs. And she turns around and goes, "Shh, listen. It's this tapping in here." So Chase looks at him and goes, in where? She goes, in there. So he pulls out his gun and he goes, come out, whoever you are. She goes, what you got a gun for? That's not going to help you here. And he goes, who are you? She goes, that you don't need to know at the minute. Put your gun away. Let's go in. She opens this white doors, 2 white doors. And as she opened them, there's like a warming room where you can put towels and bedding and it will stay warm. And it has pipes running through it so it keeps it warm. So he goes, okay. She looks up and down at the room, looks side to side, and she goes, through that wall. So he goes, you're trying to be funny now. How am I supposed to walk through the wall? She goes, you don't see it. You're supposed to be a detective. Yeah, and what do you do? I'm just a YouTuber. So, why are you going to walk through the wall? She goes, we're not. Chase goes, well, what are we going to do then? Touch the wall. Push it. Push the wall. He goes, right, come on, let's get out of here before we get into trouble. No, push the wall. What wall? Push it. Listen, lady, I don't know who you are, but you're creeping me out. Let's go. If you want to know where the kids are and you want to know what happened here, we have to go through that wall. The only way we're going through that wall is if you push it. He goes, listen, lady, I've been a police officer for 35 years. She goes, and? Why would I push a wall to open? Because it's not a wall, it's a doorway. It's a little, what we call, crouch area. And he's like, crouch area? You mean crawl space? She goes, you call it crawl space, we call it the crouch area. Either way, you need to press it. He goes, no, you press it. She goes, no, you press it, you're the cop. You're the one that's supposed to know what that is. I can't even see a bloody door. She goes, okay. I press it, you go through. Have you got a torch? He goes, of course I've got a torch. I'm a cop. So he clicks the torch on. He goes, well, go on then. She goes, all right, don't rush me. Oh, now don't rush her. You were begging me to do it. Now you're saying don't rush me. He goes, I'm not going to get on with you, am I? She went, hey, you love me, you hate me, who gives a shit? Let's just get this done with. So she opens it, and you click, tick, and then it opens. So he looks at her and like, she's like, what? And he's like, how did you know that was there? She goes, you're not very smart for a cop. So he turns around and looks and goes, you want to say that again? Don't you see? It's an urban house. There's loads of crawl spaces. And, well, there was bound to be a crawl space in a cupboard. Don't you watch horror movies? Are you telling me you knew about that crawl space because you watched horror stories? Yep. Well, I suppose it's my fault considering I asked for YouTubers to come and help me. Hey, was I right or wrong? Well, you were right. Well then, what's your complaint? There is no complaint. Can we... Okay. You're only scared. That's why you don't want to go in there, why you caused me an argument. So we have this argument and you say, right, I'm not going in there, and you walk out and let me go in there. Chase turns around and goes, I'm not scared of anything. I'm a police officer. She goes, well, go on then. He goes, I am. Just don't rush me. She goes, well, go on. I'm going. When? Now. Well, go on then. fine. So he walks through the crawl space. And he goes, ah. She goes, what is it? Who's got you? He goes, I just banged me bloody head. She goes, it's not called a docking space. It's called a crawl space. Get on your knees and crawl through. Are you crazy? You want me to crawl with all the spiders and dirt and that lot? She goes, are you sure you're a detective? Yes, I am. I just don't want to get my trousers dirty or ripped. Do you know how much these sort of thick clothes cost? She looked at him and thought, Goes, fine. Bends down, starts to crawl through. And he goes, well, come on then. She goes, oh no, I'm not coming in with you. Yeah, you are. You're going to hold the camera and film. She goes, well, I'm out of here if anything comes running out the door. Yeah, let's go. So she grabs the camera. He's got the torch and they're walking through the crawl space. So they bend right down, they turn and look around the corner, and there's 4 types of corners. So he puts it up to the ceiling. What you doing, Chase? I'm looking to see the crawl space, what's up there. You're not going to find the kids on the ceiling, are you? Well, how do you know where I'm going to find them? Will you just go ahead and stop taking the mickey? So he puts it back down and he's looking and he's getting this fear and shaking. And the woman behind's going to herself, uh-oh, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done this. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And Chase goes, shh. So he walks through. Then he smells something. He goes, can you smell that? And she goes, well, who smelt it, doubt it. Oh, no, nothing like that comes out of me. She went, what does it smell like? And he went, like sulphur, like bad eggs. She goes, oh, that might be the cabbage soup I had. You gotta be joking me. She went, silent but deadly. What can I say? I had cabbage. So he looks and he thinks, I hate to be your husband. She said, yeah, my husband says the same thing. He hates to be my husband as well. So they start walking through the crawl space and then stops. And he looks and then looks back at her like that and went, bring the camera close. She goes, I'm not going in front of you. Give me the camera then. So he gives her the camera. He looks. He sees this skeleton. But it's a weird skeleton because it looks like an animal's body, but human hands and feet. So he turns around and says, do you see this? She goes, am I blind? Of course I see it. All right already. Take a look. She goes, see from here, thanks. He goes, it's got an animal's body, no head, but it's got hands and feet like a human. So they both look over. And he goes, so where's the head? And what would the head be? And he goes, dunno, never seen this before. So well, maybe it is an animal with human hands and feet. Maybe it's an ape. How many fingers has it got in a thumb? Yeah, that's a good idea. 4 fingers in a thumb. Okay, it's not an ape. They have 3 fingers in a thumb. I think we should get back and call the police. No. They don't want to know. We're not going to get no help. It's kind of, we're doing this alone. She turns around and she goes, you what? You didn't tell me that. You didn't ask. So she looks again. And they went, come on. So he picks his torch and moves the bits of bones out the way and stuff. Starts to crawl through and sees this shiny thing in front. And he goes, can you see that shining? She goes, yeah, what do you think it is? He goes, I don't know. It's little enough. Could it be a ring or... And she went, someone's hand. So he pulls out his gun. She looks at him and thinks, what the bloody hell is wrong with him and the guns? She goes, go on then. You've got the gun. You've got the torch. Go. And he goes, you got the camera. He went, just shh. So they're sneaking closer and closer, and it's getting bigger and bigger, this shiny thing. And when he turns, he sees it. And it's an old locked chest with a big lock on it. So he goes like that to her, and she goes, Chase! He goes, what? What are you doing? I'm going to see if it's open. She goes, you really don't watch horror movies, do you? No, that ain't going to be open. And why not? Because now you're going to have to look for the key. And the key's going to be in something like a skeleton or you have to go down into a deep dungeon or there's going to be like a map or something that you have to follow and stuff like that. And he went, huh, okay. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to check it anyway. Is that all right with you? She goes, sure. He's thinking, I've got a wackadoodle here. So he goes and picks it up. Click. It opens. So he turns and looks at her like that to say, ha, yeah, you and your bloody YouTube, bloody films and books. So he clicks it open, opens it up, and it creaks. As he goes to open it, bats fly out. All over him. Oh my God, oh my God. They go, disease, 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 disease. So he manages to flash him out and get him out. And she's going, oh my God, if we get bit, we're going to be dying of diseases and stuff like that. And he's like, calm down, the fruit bats. So she goes, okay, what's in there? And he goes, well, you just saw what was in there. Yeah, but anything else? So he looks and he goes, she goes, what, nothing in there? He goes, another box. She goes, well, go on then. But the bats have been in there. They would have weed and pooed all over it. Have you got gloves and a mask? In the car. Okay, I'll go get it. No. It's okay. I can see like this old gloves here. I'll put them on. So as he goes to pick them up, a rat jumps out of the glove. And he goes, okay. That's it now. He says, we're leaving. And she goes, well, get the box and we'll open it in the car. So he grabs the box like that and they're getting out. They crawl out the crawl space and they're full of black and dust, but no cobwebs. So he says, isn't that weird that there's no cobwebs in there? She said, not really. And he said, so it's not weird there's no cobwebs? And she went, no. But you find it weird there's bats and all that lot and rats and that and bones but you don't find no cobwebs weird? She goes, no. And he says, why not? And he goes, because obviously someone's used it recently and that's why there's no cobwebs. Chase looks and thinks, you cocky cow. So he gets up. They take this box out. They take it to the car and they put it in the boot. He locks the boot and he says, we'll deal with that later. Now we've got to take you. So she goes, why don't we do a Ouija board? So Chase goes, oh, come on, seriously. And she went, I've got a few YouTube friends that are also your subscribers and mine. And they don't live too far. Why would we need more people? For more energy? I don't believe in that sort of thing. And I don't want to be messing about with stuff like that. Can't we just... And she goes, you want to find out what happened to the kids and where they are? Yeah, I do. Let's get the Ouija board out and let's get them. So he goes, fine. She goes, go put the kettle on. And he said, what, in there? Yeah, that's where normally a kettle is, in the kitchen, in the house. Yeah, but it hasn't been used for a couple of months. Well, wash it. How about I just go round the corner and get an espresso for everyone? She went, fine. He says, I'll get some sandwiches as well. She went, make sure they're not poisonous though, eh? And make us all sick. He says, no, I won't get it from a garage. I'll get it from a shop. So she says, take my car. It's easier because his car was blocked in by her car. And he had the box in the car and she didn't want him to take it away and the car get stolen or anything like that because she really needed to know what was in that box. So he took her keys and went off. In the meantime, she sat back and she was calling them saying, we're going to do Ouija, do you fancy coming? And they're like, yeah. We're going to record it and that and put it on. So they said, we see it in half an hour. Some were 10 minutes away, some were 20 minutes, some was half an hour. She needed 5 more people to make 7. The secret 7. So Chase comes back with 8 coffees, all black, and then just brought sugar and cream. And said the sugar and cream and that for anyone who wants it. And sandwiches and some donuts. She went, typical cop, you have to go for the donuts. He goes, hey, we're addicted. What can we say? So the others start coming. So Chase gets together and goes, so what's happening here then? So she goes, right, they're all coming with their equipment as well. And he goes, and then what? And she says, we'll set up the dining table. So help me bring it into the living room. He goes, but you can't move their furniture. Well, you said that it was over. You said that there was no, like they weren't going to look no more. Yeah, true. So where do you want to put it? Over his body. Pardon? The body shape with the blood and everything. Over there, that. We need it over that. That gives us energy and make it stronger. He said, you know what? I really don't believe in this lot. Well, you don't have to believe. Just sit there. You can do the video footage. So we went, fine. So he helps her pull it over. She gets the Ouija board out of her car. She gets loads of suitcases out and he goes, what the bloody hell? She went, well, I knew we were going to come to the house, so I knew we might need this equipment. He said, equipment? He said, sure you haven't got radar in there and stuff like that for like, you sure you're not a terrorist or something? She goes, no, I'm just an investigator. Oh, no, you're not one of them. Spirit investigator. She went, you didn't see my channel? No, you're one of my subscribers. Well, on my channel, it'll tell you I'm an investigator. She goes, oh, dear. So then everyone starts turning up, beeping loudly, and he goes, the neighbours. So he looks up, and there's a neighbour next door twitching. And he goes, I'll be back in a minute. Don't start without me. So she went round. And she looked up at the neighbour again and the twitch and then quickly shut the curtain. So she went back, she went, Chase. He went, yeah. He went, have you met the neighbours? He went, no. She went, it's a good time you do now. The neighbours aren't here. These are all holiday homes for the rich. No one's here in the winter. There's somebody in that house. There isn't. We knocked. We checked. The owners are all away. I saw him through that window looking. He goes, look, nobody is here. She goes, what? So they go in. So she goes, right, everyone, let's get the gear up. Let's get everything set up. So Chase is watching them. They're all getting set up. And one of the lads turned around and said, this is like with the Warrens and stuff like that. This is going to be so cool. Can't wait to put this on the channel. So he's looking like, oh my God, this is going to be a circus. And he's having second thoughts and third thoughts and fourth thoughts and thought, this ain't right. But I really need to find these kids. So they all set up cameras, equipment. It filled the room up. All the lights went off, flashing lights here, there and everywhere. Equipment he's never seen before. But this equipment was even better than half the equipment the police force had. So she sits down at the top part of the chairs. There was 6 chairs. So they all sat round. And he put the big Ouija board in the middle. Others brought tarot cards, candles, sage, white salt. Chase had this fear in his guts, twisting. Chase starts to walk a bit back to try and make his distance, and she goes, where are you going? He goes, nowhere, I'm just standing over here. She says, just make sure the cameras are kept switched on. If you see one of them switch off, let us know so we can stop, so you can change the battery. And he goes, well, all the batteries are full. I've just saw yous. She goes, trust me. We've got 14 batteries for each one because, trust me, they will drain. So he says, okay. Thinks they're all loopy and thinks he's got himself into something he really didn't want here. So everyone says quiet. They take deep breaths and touch each other's hands. Then put their little finger on the Ouija board, just on the edge, and then she puts her hand in the middle with her little finger. And he turns around and he says, hold on a minute, aren't you all supposed to put a finger on the pleb or wherever it's called? And she turns around and says, this isn't the movies. He thought, cheeky get. After all of what she was telling him. So next minute the lights went down. They took a deep breath. They did a relaxing spell. She asked everyone to take a few deep breaths in for the count of 4 and release out the mouth the count of 6. Then she said, I need you all to close your eyes and see a bright light above your head, and went into a chant. Then she turned around and said, are you there? Is anybody there? So he's like, are you there, Sydney? So they all turn to him and give him such a tag, and he goes, okay, okay. I was just saying. So Chase sits down and thinks, here we go. So he's thinking, how am I going to get out of this and start looking for the kids, and where would I look? And as he thought that, all of a sudden, the spirit box said, I can help. You will find the children. So Chase was like, I will? It's like, you will find the children. He's like, who's this? Tommy. She goes, isn't that the man that got murdered? He goes, yeah, isn't it funny how that he's coming over one of your spirit boxes? You sure you didn't record this? She goes, does it sound like my voice? He goes, no, but you could get a voice mixer and stuff like that. She goes, okay then. Is that you, Tommy? Yes. Are you the foster father? I am. Could you go over and touch Chase's cheek so he can feel you? Because he doesn't believe. It goes quiet. Then the candles start to move and flutter towards Chase's way like a magnet. And the next minute, Chase feels something cold, ice cold. Then he smells that smell again. He goes, there's that smell again. She goes, it wasn't me this time. And they went, yeah, I can smell it like a rotten, fleshy type smell. So he went, yeah, can't you smell that? So Chase goes, ask him. Goes, you ask him, he can hear you. What happened to your wife and you? We were attacked. So where's the kids? They were taken. By who? I know where they are. Where are they? Hello? She goes, hold on a minute, his energy's low. She goes, let's use the Ouija board to see if it helps him. So all of them hold hands to give him energy, and then they all touch. Next minute, it reads out 238 Oakley Way. Garmenton. He went, Garmenton? That's miles away. You'd have to get a plane there. It's a village. What would they be doing in a village miles away from here? And she went, that's the answer. And he says, all right, ask him what happened to his wife. Why is she in a coma if there's no trauma to her outside body? So he said, poison. A snake bite on her stomach. So he goes out, Chase goes outside, presses the button and goes, Sarge, do me a favour. Go in and ask the doctor to see if she's got a snake bite on her stomach, on the inside by her belly button underneath. Just do it. Give me a ring back. She Chase is sitting there, so she comes out and goes, what's going on? Well, we're going to see. You're going to see what? If she's got a snake bite or not in the place you said. She went, we will. He went, well, we'll see. Then his phone rings, he picks it up and he goes, yeah. There was tiny, tiny 2 dots of snake bite. Because of that, the doctors then did a toxicology on her and found what snake it was and was able to give it to her. So she started to come out of the coma and start to recover. So the sergeant went, how did you know? He went, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. And he said, try me. He goes, well, I went onto YouTube and I asked my subscribers for any ideas. And this woman come on and said, yeah, and she's got a few friends. So I took her to the house. And then he stopped and he thought, I'm not going to tell him everything. Something's not right here. He's gone, go on, what else? Who are the YouTubers? Give me their names. Whereabout are you now? What did you find? Did you find anything? Is there anything else that the spirit could tell you where it was? And this sergeant seemed to really, really, really want to know every little detail, which Chase got a bit weary of. So the soldier says, well, what else did you find? Nothing else, just that. That's all he said, that she was snake bit, that's why, but he was shot. Does he know where the kids are? Apparently not. Apparently he's just, you know what they're like. It's a window, there's a door, there's woods, there's river, there's something wet. And he goes, oh, the usual. And I go, yeah. So he goes, all right then. I goes, if there's any updates, no problem, I'll let you know. So she's sitting there going, oh, really? And he goes, can I talk to you a minute? So she goes, what? I don't trust him. You don't trust the sergeant. I never did. There's something not right though. He was asking, did we find anything else? Did we know anything else where the kids were? She went, yeah, you could have told him and he could have sent a crew down. Or he could have moved them. So she looked like that. End of part 2. The next will be part 3 of Chase. I will also be doing another story. We will also be doing Patreon stories where you will decide the story, the middle and the end. And we will work together on Patreon to make a story and then bring it out onto YouTube. However, if we can't, because it has certain things you're not allowed on YouTube, then Patreon stories will become more scarier. We'll be putting a lot of stuff to it. But till then, my friends, stay safe. Let's all love summer and hope for the best for summer. We're getting close now. We'll never forget summer. And we won't let no one else forget neither. This is Chip out of Mr. Angels in a Wild Crocodile.